Okay, that was an attempt at a cool thumbnail for the video. Anyway, what's up, Internet? Cthulhu the Dark One, back once again for episode 25 of the Roundtable, your weekly little blog podcast. So, plog, yeah, that's a word, right? Normally I do have my good friend Mr. Bulletmarks with me, but he's kind of busy with schoolwork and stuff. So, going to old solo mio. Haven't done this in a while, but here we go, hey. Guess as usual, video game news, toy collectible news, and whatever else happens to pop into my mind. And hopefully you enjoy it and tell all your friends, so hopefully I can make some money on this. Anyway, video game news. Once again, as it tends to do, over on Screw Attack, I know it was there. I think it was a couple other places. There was an article released with yet another interview saying that how Star Wars Battlefront 3 was 99% done before it got canned. This one said all they literally had to do was bug test it and the game would have been done. You know, it's to the point now. I think there's even like footage of it somewhere. You know, I don't think it'll ever be. Fingers crossed. Since Disney bought it, maybe they had the good common sense to resurrect probably what would be the biggest selling Star Wars game of all time. But until then, you know, it's kind of like the new console rumors. It's like when I see it, I'll believe it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just kind of sucks because me personally, I know Mr. Bulletmarks is a fan of it. It was a great great 2 games, and it's a shame that we never got the third one. But who knows? Fingers crossed. Like I said. Other kind of random news, if you played City of Heroes, the PC MMO that kind of DC Universe kind of sort of copied-ish, well, it got shut down. So, sorry if you were part of that. Let's see, other than that, let's see, games that came out. I think Far Cry is this week. I think that's pretty much the last big thing. There's some kind of Lord of the Rings arena thing for the arcade this week. Could be pretty cool. Of course, we got The Hobbit coming up in theaters, but anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent. Let's see, other stuff. Far Cry does look pretty cool. If I get the chance, I might pick it up. I've watched a lot of gameplay, watched a lot of reviews. It seems to come across as Skyrim with guns, and that could work for me. But let's see, what else? I do have a couple notes wrote down here. Well, me personally, I finally bought into the hype, I guess you could say. I never really badmouthed that much. I did finally pick up Halo 4. And I gotta give due credit where credit's due. I honestly didn't think the 360 was capable of visuals like that. It's a very, very, like, holy crap, that's pretty sort of thing. Gameplay, I gotta admit, I kind of really didn't have my doubts. I just didn't want to put up with the bullshit multiplayer. And luckily, knock on wood, I haven't encountered any yet. It's actually been pretty fun. The only thing that is kind of a pain is when you first start multiplayer and you just don't have any access to guns. Like, all you have is the standard assault rifle, which can get the job done, but believe me, once you get any type of precision gun, you'll be 10 times better off. But other than that, it's pretty solid. I'm kind of working on everything. I'm trying to get caught up in Spartan Up, trying to play a little bit of multiplayer, and trying to go through the campaign. I'm doing mostly Spartan Ops at the moment, but I've watched the ending of the campaign, so it's not like I've got to worry about knowing what happens. But anyway, so there's that. I guess that's kind of about it. You know, the kind of big game season's over. The Wii U was kind of like the big hurrah of the holiday season for games. And, well, if you watch this on a regular basis, you know I'm not the biggest fan of it. But if you bought one and you enjoy it, good on you. So, anyway, yeah. On this, with that, video game and stuff is normally bullet thing. I'm just kind of grabbed a couple tidbits so it wouldn't just be toys and collectibles, because if you watch my channel, you know that's pretty much what I do. As you can see, all the crap behind me. But anyway, over on BigBadToyStore.com, please sponsor me. They actually have it in stock. I knew it was coming for a while. It's the Hot Toys Ironmonger figure. Now it is $444.99 before shipping, before any type of taxes. So yes, that is a good chunk of change. It's probably going to be at least $475, not $500, depending on how you want it shipped and all that. But you do get a chunk of toy or collectible in this thing. The Hot Toys really aren't toys in the traditional sense. You buy these things to look cool sitting around. I would love to get one day. It is 17.5 inches tall, so it's actually in scale to the normal Iron Man suit Hot Toys, which is crazy because those things alone are already like 8 or 9 inches tall. So it would definitely, of course, it has the lights, and you can actually open the cockpit and see a full molded Jeff Bridges inside. You can't take him out, but it's still in there. It's just like, wow. So definitely impressive on that. Also on Big Bad, they have in stock. You can get the if you're a fan of the old school Transformers and don't want to dish out about God knows how much they've gone up to now for each of the things to make it's kind of like the side companies like TF Source and Make Toys and stuff like that. They've made Goliath and Defender or something like that. It's basically Devastator, but they don't use Devastator name, so they don't get sued. But they do have in stock the Encore Devastator, which is made by Hasbro, and it's a reproduction of the G1 toy of Devastator. Now the others it's only $124.99, which isn't bad. And I say it's not bad because, like I said, Goliath is the one that definitely comes to mind that I know is the right name. It's like 5 times more posable. You got fingers and everything's better detailed and everything. But, those individual bots to make the giant bot are a good, like, $250, $300, and there's, like, 7 of them. So, yeah. So if you don't want to dish out a humongous amount of money, might not be a bad option. They also have on Big Bad, since I'm a fan of Transformers Prime, I might actually try to pick these up. They're called Dark Energon figures, and it's basically they took Starscream, Wheeljack, Knockout, and Bumblebee, and it's kind of like if they got into Dark Energon or something, or got infused with it. It's just slightly different decos, slightly darker colors, like the shell for vehicle mode is kind of like a translucent plastic, and just kind of redecos, and they do look pretty cool. They're about $20 a piece. You can either get them separately or as a set. They do look pretty cool. And one last thing for Big Bad, they also have the it's a shared exclusive with Big Bad. I'm not sure who they share it with, like the other site, but it's Omega Supreme from Fall of Cybertron, and it's pretty cool. It's basically a repaint. I want to say Armada toy. Basically, it was like 2 halves. Like one was kind of like a boat, and one was like a train or a ship. And basically, you made Omega by like folding them together and popping up his head. And I believe in the original toy line, you could put that Optimus inside of him, like a combiner mode. I believe it was Armada. Could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was either Armada or Energon where he came about. But anyway, it's a repaint of that one to look more G1-ish or more Fall of Cybertron, with the red and the gold and all that. And the original didn't have the traditional Omega Supreme claw beam thing on the right hand. I forget what it was, be absolutely honest with you. And I used to have the toy, but anyway, this one does. It's pretty cool for a redeco, and it's only $100. That's another one, if I can get it, I might buy into, because it's a really big Transformer too. It's at least like this. So, but yeah, so that's a couple cool things over on BigBadToyStore.com. Then over on ThinkGeek, I just happened to notice in their Doctor Who selection of merchandise, well, actually across the whole site, they have sales here and there, but I just go there mostly because they get some cool Doctor Who stuff. They have a couple little sales on things, and they're sales. Some of them are just like a couple bucks off, like $10 here, $10 there. The one really kind of, wow, that's a lot off of it. Excuse me. Is a TARDIS trash can, and it's almost half off at, you can get it for $49.99. It's normally like $90, so it's almost half off. But other than that, they had the Universal Remote, which I will get for Christmas and definitely do a review of. It's a sonic screwdriver. It's basically this, but functional, and not a toy. And it's actually $10 less, so you can get it for $89.99 now before shipping and all that. And then I know I've actually seen it in stores, at a bookstore. I didn't check the price on it at the time, but they have on ThinkGeek.com the Doctor Who Monopoly board, and it's $39.99. So who doesn't like Monopoly and Doctor Who? So win-win. So yeah, kind of a short one this week because it was Oh Solo Mio, but yeah, I guess in kind of a personal note, if anyone sees this out there on the interwebs, wish me luck. It's Monday night now. Tuesday I go. Anyway, I've spoken about a back problem I have on my channel before. I go tomorrow for kind of like the last hurrah to try to fix it to where it can be fixed. It's one of those. I have bulging discs, and it's one of those things. They're not bad enough to like you need surgery fix it, and it's there. It's in that weird in between of how bad it is. Like it's just bad enough to where if it really acts up, I can be put on my ass. But so anyway, basically tomorrow I go and get spinal injections. So sounds fun, right? So, but I will say, kind of funny thing, you know, they give you a pamphlet of paperwork, and I know it's one of those things. I've seen it before, but it was one of those kind of like doctors covering their ass thing, where it's like, well, on the best chance, you will only experience a mild discomfort for 24 hours. Then your symptoms will cease, and you'll be hunky-dory, which is what I'm hoping for. But then it starts to list, like, all the possible negative effects, and it's like, yeah, or you can have increased pain for 2 weeks. And, you know, of course, you have the little clause, like, sign here so you can't sue the doctors if they paralyze you. I mean, I know it's one of those things, but it just always kind of gets me to read crap like that. It's like the heart surgery thing. If you go in for heart surgery, you have to sign a waiver. Like, if you die on the operating table, your family can't sue the doctor. So, I know it's just one of those things, but it's still kind of funny. But yeah, so like I said, I guess that's about it. A really short one tonight, but, you know, it is what it is. Without any banter between two people, what can you do? So hopefully it's been enjoyable on my channel, which you're on if you're watching this. I do have a couple reviews, a couple of Ninja Turtle things I got, and a new Transformer, which I don't know if you can tell. Try to point at him. Oh, there he is. The Viacon right there, that my thumb's in his crotch. So I'll be getting those up soon. And yeah. So till next time.